Let me rename this so I don't lose it. Let's name this one Blastojack. Blastojack. For Popper. For the peoples. So let's go to modern mode for real quick while we're waiting for him to message me here, and we can play another modern round with gifts. So where do we end up on Grixis Sear Blades? It's a 2-card combo and it's not that expensive to get into. You can get into it on a budget. You don't need all the grindy stuff. Sear Blades, the grindy version? No, the slip version was the combo-y version. So basically you could embrace the Sear Blade side. I prefer Control over Delver, then you're going to love this. So we incorporated a 2-card combo into Grixis. Not to make it better, just because I just don't own all the Jaces necessary. So basically, instead of these being extra Jaces and the second Damnation, I just decided to go with a 2-card combo. So watch this. So you got Sear Blades, right? This is maybe one that you guys may not have heard of. This is kind of a newer thing that we're trying on the stream. So you got Grixis, so you got Sear Blades, right? If you pair it, and these are very cheap, by the way. Lava Claw Reaches aren't that bad. Foom Rolls aren't that bad because they just got printed. So really the only expense you would need to buy into, and you could like, if you want to stay budget, don't run the Tazagur, run Gurmags. Obviously, I recommend the Bolts and the Terminates. Those aren't too bad. Visions and Thought Scours and Slips. You don't need the Snapcasters immediately, or the Jace, or the Lily, or the Colas commands. You can wait on all of these cards. These 12 cards, you can wait on. I recommend getting them eventually, but you can wait on these cards. You can replace these with something else, a different card equivalent. But this part of the deck should be cheap outside of the Tazagur and the Fetch Land mana base. Now, you can't skimp on this part of the combo. I made a neat cool control deck. Mind if I posted? Do it, Korthian. You could also wait on the Black Cleaves as well. I mean, I would recommend doing a Fetch Land mana base. I mean, this is going to help you a lot. These are a bunch of duels for you. This helps your red mana a lot, so you can go heavier on your blue and black sources. But anyway, Krolik. So basically it's a 2-card combo. Do you need me to explain it? It's really neat. Not everybody sees it at first. And then, of course, in the sideboard, I don't recommend immediately buying an Vendilion Clique. Again, like, you need to fall in love with the deck before you invest into it. Lava Man shouldn't be too bad. Angers probably aren't that expensive. So you can hold off on all of this stuff in the sideboard. I do recommend the Lynx, the Angers, and the Lava Man. So this is where I would start. I would start with these 7 cards at least in the sideboard. You can supplement the rest. Maybe just run some like negates or something instead of... We were thinking about a negate instead of the Vendilion Clique, for example. I don't think you should skimp on this part of the deck. You could skimp on this part of the deck. You could, at first. I do recommend eventually getting into... So I recommend getting into this 20, and this is the combo. I recommend at least starting here with your Brew, and these sideboard cards have been really nice for me. Like, Link actually gives you a chance against something like Burn. You can put it on the Eidolon, best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you put it on Angler. In fact, you should maybe run a 3rd Angler. I would run a 3rd Angler because I was running a Tazagur Angler split. Made a few changes, but this is the first idea. Alright, we're going to get that match against Orzmoto. Okay, let me just look at this real quick. Whoa! Counter Skull, I love it already. 1 Cola Command, 2 Denials. Okay. 3 Cruels. I love me some Rise Fall. That's a really fun grindy card. Actually, that's what you should be running in here, dude. That's a really solid grind card since you don't have access to Kolaghan's Command yet, I assume. You said you need to build this on a budget. Yeah, Rise Fall is sweet. Or like Soul Manipulation. But I would focus on your threats being the Sear Blades, which is the combo creature, the Anglers, and these. You'd have to find some other advantages. You could go heavier on discard. I mean, your deck will function a little worse without Snapcaster, I guarantee, but that doesn't mean it's a worse deck. How about I screenshot this part of the deck that I'm recommending you get into, and then we'll move these over here. This is what I recommend you start with, friend. I recommend starting here. Krolik, did I ever explain the combo to you, friend? I need to hop in the match with Orzmoto, by the way. Did I ever explain the, Soul Manipulation is a fun grind card if you don't have things like... If you're on a budget. But anyways, let me sort and show you what the full-fledged version looks like and is doing. Obviously, until I get the Jaces, I'm going to continue to run the Sear Blades Infinite Damage combo. Krolix says nope. Okay, so what happens? It's really cool, actually. So what happens is you have Reaches or Fumarole. Both work. Actually, Fumarole is easier on the mana. This one's actually less mana to activate. So you have one of these, right? Or this. So we're running a 7-4 split, right? You got 4 Seer Blades, you got 7 man lands, all of which do the combo. So let me explain that further. So these are elementals, right? When you animate them, right? So this says, until end of turn, Lava Claw Reaches becomes a 2-2 black-red elemental. That's key. Fumarole says, becomes a 1-4 blue-red elemental. Okay, so they're elementals, great. Seer Blade says, whenever you activate an ability of an elemental, Seer Blades gets +1 until end of turn. Okay, great. So if we activate Reaches and use its ability, Seer Blades grows. Cool. Well, wait a minute. But this is for X. So in Magic, if you have an X, you can actually pay 0, and Fumarole says 0. So wait a minute. What if I was to attack with a Seer Blades, animate Reaches or Fumarole, and then start either adding 0 to the Reaches over and over again, or flipping the Fumarole back and forth from a 1-4 to a 4-1? What would happen, Krodic? What happens? Fujin says Seer Blades or Fumarole also works with Reaches, Fujin Sensei. What would happen if you just started either adding 0 to the Reaches, or flipping the Fumarole back and forth and the Seer Blades is on the table? What happens to the Seer Blades? What's going on here? Did you used to stream? What's up, Jake? I've missed you. Diz combo. Krolix says, whoa, infinite damage. And there you have it. You have an infinite damage loop in a budget Grixis control. I do recommend running 1 to 2 slip through spaces. In fact, you could go heavier on slip through space since you don't have snapcasters. Because I'm anticipating to snapcast some of these cantrips. You can just go heavier on slip through space. I do recommend slip through space. Because here's the thing. If your opponent sees the combo and they have a blocker, yeah, they'll block. They will definitely block. Unless you killed all their dudes. Oh, you also want some Edict effects. You'll want to run some Edict effects instead of Liliana. You can run Far Away. Far Away is a fun budget Far Away is a nice budget opportunity. What's up, Free Will? Free Will, did you ever get those cards back to the guy that you borrowed them from? Not to hit you with that immediately. Okay, cool. But it'll get wrecked by chumps. That's where slip through space comes in, Krolix. You can add slip through space to the deck if you want to be better against blockers with the combo. That's why I run Banefire. Banefire is a little slow for Moto, though. I mean, so is this combo. I mean, you're welcome to do... I just wanted to show you something that we came up with on the stream. But yeah, you gotta do your own thing. All right. Happy to share decks. Happy to show you. Message him. Haven't seen anything back. He told me, Free Will, after you went offline, he told me just send the Pyroblast to me because he watches... Or it's not so much that he watches my show instead of yours, Will. That's not true because actually he watched your show the other day. He did. That wasn't it. He said because the time zones, because I stream like really, really late and you go to bed much, much earlier than I do, even though you and I are similar time zone. He said it's just easier for him to pick up the Pyroblast for me than you. But that's up to you. I'll leave that to your judgment. If, again, you want to keep trying to... I think he's like Australian. I think he told me he was Australian. He's a totally different time zone than us, Will. But if you want to try to hit him up and give him the Pyroblasts, I'll leave that to you. I'm just letting you know that he told me that. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. You know I'm good for it. He knows I'm good for it. If you want to continue to search him out to get him those Pyroblasts, you can do that as well. Just you need to get him his cards back. That's all I'm telling you, man. All right. Run Guest Verdict. Yeah, you can run a Guest Verdict. You can get like really cute. Another way to have recursion in a budget deck would be Isochron Scepter. Isochron Scepter on Bolt, Terminate, or Guest Verdict is sweet. I'm Australian. Your stream's on a good time for Aussies. Do I know what time he usually gets on stream? Very, very late. Very, very late. You can watch later than usual. You could. Oh, no, it's not Deck Pull today. I apologize, Conquer Donk. It's actually today, it's just Deck Bliss. Thank you for pointing my attention. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so let's go to home and let's find this guy play. That's the thing every turn. Yeah, I mean, like, that's, of course, a cuter. I mean, like, obviously your opponent's Artifact Tate is going to destroy that game 2 and 3, but that's a fun thing you could do if you don't have things like Snapcaster Mage. It's a budget alternative to have, like, a spell-based engine. There are other engines you can look into, though, for a budget deck that doesn't have Snapcaster Mage. I just think you're going to have a hard time building a true cool ultimatum control without Snapcaster Mages and Cryptics. I think you'd be better off testing the Fumarole Wombo combo. And you're also buying into man lands that you can use for the deck, so... I don't know, I was just trying to think of a budget alternative for you, friend Krolek. That's all I was thinking of. We've had several people who have built the deck so far and been pleased with it. Alright, challenge. I'll wait it out, see if he comes on. If no, I'll trade before we go to bed. Yeah, that's a fine alternative, Will. And you know what's funny, Will? I would honestly rather you trade them directly to him as well, just so I don't have to. Not that I'm. It's not even like a laziness thing. I'm fine trading him his cards. I'm just saying I'd rather you do it. Alright, guess. No worries, Krolek. I mean, it's just an idea, friend. It's just an idea. I feel like you'll have a hard time trying to build cool control without Snapcaster Mages. This might be a fun alternative as you slowly buy into the mana base necessary to play Grixis. It might be a good starting point. And the combo has been working just fine. We've killed several people with it, actually, even in League. It's hilarious. Alright, good luck and have fun. Ors won the roll. Okay. I don't know if we're going to win this match, by the way. This is very grindy. His deck's just got a playset of Mana League, playset of Cryptic, more Planeswalkers than us. This is going to be a grind. We're going to have to sneak through with some clutch plays to get this one. And this is not the hand to do it. Nope. No worries. Apparently Ors was chilling in my stream watching the brew. I think I'm going to work on getting some of the more expensive mana snaps and chases. I recommend going that way. For sure. I would maybe keep this. Some acceleration and getting into mana league. Can't be that bad. One of the ways we can maybe win this is to get ahead on mana. I just don't think we have, like, he's even running things like Temple that give him better late game potential than us. It's his lead stream. Yeah, I think just try to get ahead on mana. Try to sneak through Gideon or something. Wall of Omens. Okay. Gideon no care about wall. Gideon will break wall. Drew Cryptic, so we got Cryptic up next turn if I can stick this, which we do. And we shall rise victorious. I hope so, Ike. I don't anticipate winning this, by the way. But we could. His deck's certainly clunkier. For example, I could just try to go for... I like either holding up the Cryptic, using the Thirst for card advantage by pitching the Signet, or we can make the Signet land drop. I'm gonna Thirst, probably. No. Maybe we do want to play the Signet. Hang on. Maybe I do want to play the Signet. Didn't I just say, like, if we get ahead of mana, we... this Thirst is so much value, though, since I have a Signet to pitch. Like, this is a little two-card combo, if you will. In fact, if we hit a land naturally and he goes to counter this, we could stick the Gideon. If we could stick Gideon, we have a shot. Let me look at his list again. He does have main deck, detention spheres, 3 of them. Cryptic counter? Okay. Draw us a land. You're the Gideon Jura. He can easily just de-sphere this. I don't know if this matchup is winnable. By the way, I don't know if you've seen my opponent's list. I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm just saying this is the match we were hoping to not have to play ever. I mean, we play everybody once in the pool, in the pod. I'm just saying his list is just running more Cryptics, it's running more counter magic, more permission. If you want to see the list, is Kalatas Trader get worth it? Yes, but he's really expensive right now, Krolek. He may only get more expensive. It's an investment, man. He didn't immediately de-sphere the Gideon. He may be looking to just Cryptic bounce Gideon. I don't know, we stuck a Planeswalker, we could win. This could be Infinite Path to Exiles. Infinite Path to Exile. Card seems good. You guys ever heard of Infinite Path to Exile? I know I have. I imagine this is like a path. Get in there, Gideon. Don't die.